Welcome to Castle Combe for the IST Charity Karting Challenge in aid of Teenage Cancer Trust. A fantastic event that Luke Cooper and myself, Ian Simon, have put on this year with the aim to raise up to £2,000 for the Teenage Cancer Trust. As you can probably see and hear behind me, there's 48 drivers and supporters taking part in this event. They're all racing here this weekend, or many of them are racing here this weekend, and they're here to enjoy themselves but also raise money in aid of an excellent cause. We're building up to 6 finals later on in the evening.
Time now for the first final, sponsored by Cotswold Blacksmith. This for the drivers who accumulated the least number of points throughout their heats. So it's Rod Morgan and Max Finn on the front row, Hayden White and Fergus Reid on row 2. On row 3, it's Ian Soman and Keith Sprules, James Britton and Lee Bonham on row 4. Luke Cooper missed out all of the heats completely. He therefore starts from the back of the grid. Lights go green and away we go. It's a good start by Luke Cooper there from the back. We're on board with Fergus Reid as they head down towards first corner. And lots of jostling position. It looks like, though, it's Rod Morgan that's got into the lead of the race from Max Finn in second place. Hayden White there in third as we go on board again with Fergus Reid. It looks like he's losing positions from his outside of the second row starting position. And the rest of the pack making their way around the top corner there, heading back down to pit corner. We're on board with Keith Sprules, the past Castle Combe GT champion. He's making his way around towards the end of the lap. They're going through shot, I think, was the number 9 cart of Fergus Reid, the Autosport Academy member, and some side-by-side action further behind. And that's Ian Soman making a mistake. He keeps Lee Bonham at bay, but Keith Sprules pounces and gets past both of them there. On board now with Max Finn. He's in second position already, losing ground to race leader Rod Morgan, though. But experienced carter Max will be doing his best to go after him. There goes Sprules coming through, then Soman and Lee Bonham, another member of the Autosport Academy. On board again with Sprules, who pounced a lap or so ago to make up a couple of positions. And he's very much a familiar name at Castle Combe, where he's raced for a number of years in the local championships. Now here's the battle for second position. Luke Cooper has made his way through to third already from the back, and a bit of a touch there, and Max Finn gets a bit squirrely. Can he hold on as they go up to top corner? Side by side going into the right-hander. Cooper's got it done, I think, but does he run out too wide on the exit? But it looks like Max Finn's got clear track ahead of him there, so he has made it back through into second place. He's just about holding on, but Cooper, so experienced around this circuit, will be determined to find a way past. Look at him go now, the multiple race winner in Castle Combe, FF1600 and National FF1600 as well, of course. Luke Cooper now has another look up the inside as they go up to top corner. Finn chops him off, and Cooper still struggling to get past, and it's important that he does so if he is to progress here, because drivers need to finish in the top 2 of each final to progress to the next race. So Finn holding off of that final qualifying position at the moment, but Cooper now has a look up the inside and this time gets it done down at first corner. So Max Finn down to third place. He started on the front row, of course, and Cooper now accelerating away. Looks like it's Hayden White in fourth position, the father of Formula Ford racer Oliver White. But we're back on board with Finn here, watching Cooper getting away, so I don't think Finn will be able to get up into the next final now, unless one of the 2 carts in front makes a mistake. On board again with Fergus Reid. Regular down at Brands Hatch in particular is Fergus. Enjoy this rare outing in the karts. And he is running in 5th place at the moment. Well, Rod Morgan there in number 11. He's our race leader. He's already in amongst the traffic now. He's caught up with the winner of the Marshals competition. That's James Britton. He got a free race in this event as one of the marshals here this weekend, but he's now been lapped, I'm afraid to say, by the race leader Rod Morgan, who shortly is going to become the race winner, because the checkered flag is out and Rod Morgan wins the Cotswold Blacksmith sponsored first final here at Castle Combe in the IST Charity Karting Challenge in aid of Teenage Cancer Trust. Let's have a look at the results then. It is Rod Morgan that takes the win from Luke Cooper in second place. Max Finn, Hayden White, Fergus Reid and Keith Sprules round out the top 6 finishers. DriveTech Limited, the company behind the Castlecombe karting facility, sponsor this second final. Matthew Adcock on his own on the front row because Jeff Clark is missing. Sam Rosario and Sam Smith are on row 2, but Rory Clark is missing further back. And Rod Morgan and Luke Cooper, the two drivers that have progressed from the first of the finals. Red lights on. 8 karts go for this, the second final. Green light is on and the race gets underway. So Matthew Adcock with a bit of a gap behind him as the race got underway because that kart was missing next to him. Up to second then is Sam Rosario, and it's side by side already for third position. It's Sam Smith there that's being hustled out, I think, by Ian Jones, the Compact Cup racer. Oh, and a bit of a biff and a spin. Ian Jones is facing the wrong way. He has got tangled up with another of the karts as well. So we're watching now the number 1 kart of Rod Morgan, who was the winner of the first final. That has allowed him to progress up the order a little bit there. And number 7, we're watching Sam Smith in action with Luke Cooper, who goes through, which is no real surprise. Now Ian Jones has got going again, but right at the back of the field, I'm afraid to say. Now that might be Richard Watkins, I think, that's up ahead of him. Castlecombe Formula Ford racer of the past. And a familiar face here at the circuit. So through first corner they go. That's the 7 kart with number 12 just behind it, which is Craig Jameson. So Smith has Jameson behind him. We're on board with Jones, still trying to find a way past Richard Watkins. There, though, is number 3 out front. That's Matthew Adcock, who was here at the circuit earlier on in the day as well. So he's had plenty of practice around this layout. He's been holding his lap times. Cooper there is up to third position, I can see. I think it's Sam Rosario that's ahead of him for the moment. And look at this, side by side with Craig Jameson now getting through ahead of Sam Smith. It looks like Rod Morgan is right behind them as well. So this is a really good battle for what I think is 4th position at the moment. And it's Sam Smith that's now dropped to the rear of that group, back down to 6th place. So Rod Morgan has made it up to 5th. And the 4th place kart of Craig Jameson now getting away from both of them. And first corner towards the chicane. And then on board with Ian Jones again. He's still not got past the number 9 kart of Richard Watkins. That is number 10. That is Sam Rosario, and he is now behind Luke Cooper, isn't he? So Luke Cooper's made his way up to 2nd position. And so it looks like he is going to progress to the 3rd final. How far can he go in this event? Ian Jones, Compact Cup podium finisher, back on board with him. But Richard Watkins driving a very wide kart here around this tight but relatively quick Castlecombe karting circuit. They're having their own battle for 7th and 8th position. Towards top corner they go. Down towards first corner. That's the Sam Smith kart that we saw going through shot there. Here he is, number 7, enjoying his run out in the IST Charity Karting Challenge in aid of Teenage Cancer Trust. There's the 15 of Ian Jones, still unable to get past Richard Watkins, but we have therefore had the opportunity to see some good on-board shots from Ian's kart as they drop back down the hill towards the final corner. It's Ian Jones still unable to find a way past Watkins. First corner doesn't really present the opportunity. They head now to the chicane, but in the meantime the checker flag goes out to Matthew Adcock, who takes the win from Luke Cooper. 3rd place goes to Sam Rosario, 4th to Craig Jameson, 5th to Rod Morgan, and 6th to Sam Smith, with Richard Watkins holding on from Ian Jones in the end of the race that was sponsored by DriveTech Limited. This 3rd final, sponsored by AJK Television, has Dan Cox, the 4-time historic touring car champion, on pole position alongside Stephen Brown. Former Castlecombe Formula 4 champion Tim Reynolds has Liam Daly next to him. Then it's Bob Higgins, Tyler Poole, Justin Dawkins, Stephen Mackley with Matthew Adcock and Luke Cooper, the 2 drivers to progress from the last race. Lights go out, away we go, and the 2 drivers on the front of the grid desperate to find some traction. Luke Cooper desperate to try and find a gap, and already he's sliced past at least one car. He's trying to go around the outside of Justin Dawkins there in the background, but it's Dan Cox in the number 11 car that lead. They go 3 wide through the chicane. That does not work. They cannot all get through there. Justin Dawkins desperately trying to find a way through. He's with the yellow helmet with the blue top to it. And again, they're going 3 wide through top corner as well. But that's Dawkins in the number 1 cart that gets a bit sideways, and he might lose a place there. In fact, no, he doesn't. He holds on. And Luke Cooper it is, number 15, that's following him through as well from the back of the grid. So Luke Cooper makes up ground. He gets through on the inside of Dawkins as they go up towards the chicane. He'd done it. Another place made up by Luke Cooper, therefore. And Dawkins now has got a couple of carts right behind him. I think one of those is Tyler Poole, wearing the helmet normally worn by Josh Fisher, the Castle Combe Formula Ford champion this weekend. But you can see that ahead of Dawkins, Cooper is getting away. It looks like it's pretty tight further behind, though. I think up front it's still Dan Cox leading the race. We go on board with number 9, Matthew Adcock. Now, he was the other driver that had to start from the back. It turns its way through, and now you can see the number 9 cart. I think that is Liam Daly, number 14, that's just ahead of him, therefore. So he has dropped back quite a bit because he started on the second row of the grid. On board again with Adcock then. Then it's Dawkins. Adcock, yes, does have Daly ahead of him. This is outside the top 6. Can Adcock find a way through? Overtaking relatively difficult round here. The carts, of course, all pretty much brand new and very evenly matched indeed. So it's all down to driver ability in this IST Charity Karting Challenge for Teenage Cancer Trust. Now here's Luke Cooper alongside the number 12 cart of Tyler Poole there. So it is Cooper that has gone through, has he? Yes, he has. So he's made that move stick. So Poole goes down a position, but I'm not sure whether Cooper is going to be able to get into the top 2 this time to progress further. This might be the end of his event. I think he's got 3 carts ahead of him still, a little bit further up the road. There's the number 3 cart of Tim Reynolds, the Castle Combe Formula Ford champion in 2005, of course. And we've gone on board with Tyler Poole there. Now Luke Cooper for the moment has got a clear track ahead of him, but he doesn't want it to stay that way. He needs to catch carts to try and make up the ground that he needs to get through to the next stage. Liam Daly is right behind Justin Dawkins now as they dispute what I think is 8th position at the moment. Stephen Mackley, number 7, the Motorsport News journalist. Certainly the most potent journalistic force in this IST Charity Karting Challenge, with the rest of the contingent all going out in the first of the finals, but Stefan going well here in the red overalls there, cart number 7. But sadly it looks as if he's not going to get further than this 3rd final. So it's Poole there in number 12 from Tim Reynolds and Stephen Mackley. So that's for 5th, 6th and 7th positions. The number 10 cart, now that's being driven by Bob Higgins, and he's got Luke Cooper bearing down on him. Bob Higgins, a former multiple champion, and he just hold off Luke Cooper. So Cooper does not go through. He finishes in 4th place. Dan Cox and Stephen Brown progress, with Higgins, Cooper, Poole and Tim Reynolds rounding out the top 6, ahead of Stephen Mackley, Liam Daly, Matthew Adcock, and in the end Justin Dawkins shuffled back to 10th place. This 4th final is sponsored by On Pole Consultancy. It's got Owen Hunter, the former Sax Max champion, on pole position, with James Scott Murphy next to him, Russell Humphrey and Paul Rhodes on row 2, Aaron Sylvester and Andy Brickles row 3, then Alex Quinn, Phil Law and the 2 qualifiers from final 3, Dan Cox and Stephen Brown. So we're all set then for this 4th of 6 finals in the IST Charity Karting Challenge for Teenage Cancer Trust. The race gets underway and it's a very busy grid of karts that heads down towards first corner. And 1 kart going out wide there, but the lead being held by James Scott Murphy then. Formula Golf 1000 race winner. Also a present national FF 1600 race as well. Second at the moment is number 11, Owen Hunter, who slipped back from his pole position. Dan Cox, the historic touring car champion and a favourite here at Castle Combe. He's got work to do if he's to progress. He's in the number 9 kart. Lots of bumping and boring as they go through final corner. But the top 2 getting away, well, the lead getting away, and then 2nd and 3rd battling here. That's Aaron Sylvester up to 3rd position, doing battle with Owen Hunter. And on board now with Paul Rhodes, who had a good run in the Mighty Mini Championship with several wins a season or so ago. Paul Rhodes is the on-board camera cart on this occasion, and he's well and truly stuck in the thick of the action here, is Paul. Just there we see Owen Hunter with the number 12, Aaron Sylvester. Number 7 is Alex Quinn, the British Formula 4 racer. Oh, and a spins for someone there. Paul Rhodes goes past them, and the spin is for number 3. So that's Andy Brickles, the owner of BM Racing, the Formula Ford racing team that took Graham Carroll to the Walt Hayes Trophy. On board again with Rhodes, also raced at Castle Combe in the Saloon Car Championship and in the Compact Cup as well in the past as Paul. So there's lots of different challenges. He's just behind there, number 9, Dan Cox, the winner of the previous race, of course. Looking to progress here, but I think he'll have his work cut out. 1 and 14 going side by side. So that's Steve Brown and Phil Law. 14, Phil Law, the stock hatch and hot hatch race. He's had some success over the past couple of seasons, but it doesn't look like that's going to extend to this IST Charity Karting Challenge for Teenage Cancer Trust. Paul Rhodes bumping and boring his way around the circuit, it seemed to me there, as the camera was bouncing around. Alex Quinn there in the grey overalls, number 7, looked to go 3 abreast and make a couple of places there, but he's not made that work. They're turning their way through the final corner, down towards first corner they go, the right-hand hairpin, and up towards the chicane. So it's the number 8 kart of James Scott Murphy ahead of this group of 5 karts really that is disputing the lead of the race. So this is for the lead here. Excellent action. We've barely mentioned Russell Humphrey, number 10, the former Castle Combe Saloon champion of 1998 in there as well, and a spin, and that is, I think, Quinn, is that? No, it's not Quinn, it's one of the other drivers who's had a moment and dropped back down the order. So it's number 7 there, Quinn. Yes, he's got number 11, Owen Hunter, behind him. So they're battling for 2nd and 3rd, I think. Briefly on board with Paul Rhodes there. There's Rhodes with 10 behind him. That's Russell Humphrey. 20 years ago, very nearly, he won the Castle Combe Saloon Car Championship title. Now the checkered flag is being made ready, and I think it's going to be James Scott Murphy that's going to come through to take the win. But Paul Rhodes is who we're on board with once again. Clear track ahead of him for the moment. There goes the checkered flag, and it is to a very dominant James Scott Murphy that takes the win. 2nd place goes the way of Alex Quinn. Owen Hunter 3rd, then Dan Cox, Paul Rhodes and Russell Humphrey round out the top 6, with Stephen Brown, Aaron Sylvester, Andy Brickles after his moment, and rounding out the field was Phil Law, number 14. Mark Richard Insurance are the sponsors as we get to the sharp end of this IST Charity Karting Challenge. It's Harry Cobbold and Marcus Ward on the front row, Thomas Capazzoni and Adam Higgins row 2, Paul Daly and Josh Barnett row 3, James Harvey and Adam Paul row 4, with James Scott Murphy and Alex Quinn progressing from the previous race. So lots and lots of experience here. We've got Harry Cobbold, a Formula Ford racer, on pole position, classic stock hatch race winner Marcus Ward alongside him on the front of the grid as the lights go out. And is it going to be Ward that gets into the lead of the race? He might well do. But no, I think it's Cobbold that has just about done it. Thomas Capazzoni there is alongside Marcus Ward and goes through into 2nd place, the Formula Ford racer and the French national wakeboarding champion. We're on board with Paul Daly in number 9, who started 5th on the grid. He is alongside Adam Higgins there, who's racing in the Ginetta Super Cup this year, but also is a 2-time Castle Combe Formula Ford champion, so he's got lots of experience under his belt, son of Bob Higgins, who we saw out in the last race as well. So down through first corner they go already for the 2nd time. Such is the furious pace of this event now, and is the number 14 kart there of Marcus Ward that he's trying to make a move on. Number 7 Thomas Capazzoni, as Harry Cobbold it is that leads the race here, and Ward can't make it through. Who is that in 5th place? We'll try and pick that up in just a moment as they drop back down towards us. It looks like it's Paul Daly there in 4th position as the things stand. Then next through is the number 11 kart of Adam Higgins. There is number 15, which is Josh Barnett, the 5 times champion of Brands Formula Ford racer. Lots of experience here in the spinner there, and someone dropping down the order all the way to the back of the field. They were waving their arms to let everyone know that they were there. That's Adam Higgins there with number 3 behind him now, which is Alex Quinn, so he's made up some ground. Quinn in the grey overalls, the Formula 4 racer, and a battle going on there, and I think that's is that James Harvey that they're chasing after as well. No, it's James Harvey just behind him in actual fact. Another Formula Ford 1600 racer. And a Quinn there going through on the inside of fellow Toka support racer Adam Higgins, but Quinn is into the barriers and that's his race over. That's his hopes of progressing out over, I'm afraid. He would have been one of the favourites for this event, I'm sure. So number 11 now, Adam Higgins continues on board with Josh Barnett, number 15, once again. Dropping through this final sequence of bends, well, first sequence of bends at the start of the next lap already. Turns his way through the chicane now, but he's not really in touch with the two karts ahead of him. There's number 8, our race leader then, Harry Cobbold, coming through pretty much untroubled throughout the course of this race so far. It looks like it's Marcus Ward there in second position at the moment, but he's quite a distance back. Bigger battles are being enjoyed further down the field. So up towards top corner goes number 8, Harry Cobbold. Then he drops back down the hill again through pit corner. Now towards the final right-hander that takes him over the start grid and on to another lap. So Cobbold, whose father David Cobbold, also very successful in Formula Ford 1600, on board again with Josh Barnett as he drops down the hill and he loses not one but 2 places there. Yeah, both places lost there, and Josh Barnett, I think, has lost out to Paul Daly and James Scott Murphy there towards the end of this race. James Scott Murphy, another of the many Formula Ford racers taking part in this event. And that is the battle with James Harvey getting up to 4th place now, past Adam Higgins. So that's a change as the checkered flag goes out, with victory confirmed then for number 8, Harry Cobbold, and Marcus Ward, number 14, second. They go through to the grand final. Thomas Capozzoni, James Harvey, Adam Higgins and Adam Paul, the former stock hatch racer, miss out. Here's the grid then for the grand final of the IST Charity Karting Challenge for the Teenage Cancer Trust. Jason Cooper and Matt Bortry on the front row, Josh Harvey and Josh Fisher row 2, Matt Hallam and Oliver Bull on the 3rd row, it's Oliver White and Michael Eastwell row 4, Harry Cobbold and Marcus Ward line up on the 5th row of the grid. So it's the 2009 Castlecombe Saloon Car Champion on pole position alongside Castlecombe hot hatch racer Matt Bortry. As the lights go out, the race gets underway then. This is going to be quite something, I imagine. It looks like a bit of contact there between the 2 front runners as they made their way through. And it's Jason Cooper, number 3, that has just about held on to the lead as everyone filters their way through the chicane and up the hill for the first time, on board with Marcus Ward, starting right at the back of the grid here, having progressed from that race. And we've got an early spinner as well. I'll pick up who that is in a moment, but lots of tremendously experienced and quick drivers in this race. Bortry having a look up the inside, and Cooper fends him off, and that delays Bortry. It means that number 10, Matt Hallam, is now right behind him. Got yellow flags further back, so someone else has had a miss up. Josh Fisher, who's well placed in this year's Castlecombe Formula Ford 1600 Championship. He's been a champion in the past as well, and a free race winner. He is up there in contention as well in the number 7 car, so too is 14, Josh Harvey, another Castlecombe hot hatch race winner, including in the compact couple briefly Formula Ford 1600 as well. So 14, 7 and 9 going through. That's Harvey, Fisher and Michael Eastwell, who is the North American F-Series champion in karts and now racing in Formula Ford this season with Kevin Mills Racing. Both the Castlecombe and National Championships. Number 12 is Harry Cobbold, who has his work cut out. He started 9th, of course, having won the 5th of the 6 finals, but this is the one that matters. This is the one that has the trophy hanging on it. Number 15 there, Marcus Ward at the back of shot. We're on board with him now, behind Cobbold as they try and climb up the order. And possibly one of our early spinners was Oliver Bull, Castlecombe GT champion in 2015, of course. And Oliver White, the 8-time Castlecombe champion brand, also seems to be a spot of bother. Number 1 going through is indeed the man we're just talking about, Oliver White. He's sort of on his own at the moment, having had those dramas earlier on. So close to winning the Watt Hayes Trophy as well on more than one occasion. Ward going through, and I think 8th position that is at the moment, but with Cobbold just starting to get away from him a little bit now, as they got their way down the hill through final corner and down towards first corner now. Through that sort of tunnel-like section through the trees there. There is number 11, Oliver Ball. Had that early spin on the first lap of the race. And there is number 8, Matt Bortry. Now how is he getting on in his chase of Jason Cooper? He's not too far behind, only about 3 or 4 kart lengths, but Jason very experienced around here. Ex-Ford Fiesta champion as well, that was in 2012. He's had some previous success in the IST as well as Jason Cooper. So we've got a lot going for him here. There's number 7, Josh Fisher. He's having a battle royal this season with Michael Myers in the Castle King Formula Ford 1600 Championship. Myers not taking part in this event. He's got Josh Harvey just ahead of him though. In the battle between the two Joshes. And up ahead of both of them is the number 10 kart. Towards the hairpin they go. That is top corner. That is 3 going through, which is Jason Cooper from Matt Bortry in second. Hallam in third place as the checkered flag goes out, and it's victory to Jason Cooper in the IST Charity Karting Challenge in aid of Teenage Cancer Trust, and a nice gesture there between the two protagonists for victory in the grand final. Here's confirmation of the result then. Jason Cooper it was that took the win from Matt Bortry by a narrow margin. Matt Hallam third, Josh Harvey fourth, Josh Fisher fifth, Michael Eastwell, Harry Cobbold, Marcus Ward, Oliver Ball and Oliver White rounding out the 10 finishers. Many thanks to all of the sponsors of the IST Charity Karting Challenge 2017 in aid of Teenage Cancer Trust, Mark Richard Insurance, On Pole Consultancy, Cotswold Blacksmith, AJK TV, Aford Awards and Drive Tech. Thanks for watching and goodbye.